I want to introduce to you Terrence Wise. Terrence is a 37-year-old father of three who works at McDonald's in Kansas City, where he makes $9 an hour. Terrence began organizing for the Fight for 15 and union rights more than 3 years ago. It is through his action that he has caught the attention of national media, and he has emerged as a voice for the movement and inspiration for low-wage workers across the country. He has helped build the Fight for 15 into an international movement through his leadership on delegations in Ireland, Brazil, and the European Union. Please welcome Terrence.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I can tell you, I won't let the weather get me down. It's easy to wake up and look out the window and see the rain and kind of be down, feel that way. But today I was inspired when I woke up. I knew I had a march to come to, a climate rally is what they want to call it. But I knew that I was coming to be a part of the movement. Not a moment, a movement, as this sign right here says. And when I walk in the room and I read the back of your shirt, Manny, and I see signs like Our Labor, Our Planet, I know I'm in the right place. I know I'm with the right group of people. I really do. Well, as Manny stated, my name is Terrence Wise, and I'm a McDonald's worker, a leader in the Fight for 15. 4 years ago, I was working 2 full-time jobs in fast food here in Kansas City, while my fiance worked a full-time job as well as a home health aide. Our family, despite our 3 incomes, still lost our home here in Kansas City. We found ourselves living out of our purple Dodge minivan, right out in front of my job, right here close to where we are today. This was the reality for my family. I felt depressed. I was angry. Listening to my 3 girls, one of whom has asthma, in the back seat of our minivan sharing a blanket. That was our habitat for the night. No parent should have to go through this, none. To see our belongings piled high in the back of our minivan. Even though I work in the richest nation on earth, the planet we live on right now, my family has to continue to live in poverty. And not only my family, but many families here in Kansas City have to endure these conditions. I've worked in fast food for nearly 20 years, but I only make $9 an hour, as Manny stated. I have no sick days, no vacation, no voice on the job whatsoever. And as a result of these conditions, the lives of my children and my fiance have been on the decline over the years. Not just my family, but workers all across Kansas City have experienced homelessness and struggle to provide the basic necessities for our families. Each month we choose between paying the rent, keeping food on the table, or keeping utilities on. Those are decisions we're faced to make every day. I know fast food workers who endured this past winter without working heat, without running water. We work in a $200 billion industry where companies like McDonald's make over $5 billion a year in profit. Unbelievable is correct. Where CEOs like Steve Easterbrook, the CEO of McDonald's, is making $14 million a year. $9,000 an hour, folks. We work hard every day making these companies filthy rich, but our children continue to live in poverty. The fast food industry wants to perpetuate a myth that I am not a typical fast food worker. They would have the public believe that fast food workers are just teenagers looking for a little extra spending cash. Well, the Washington Post recently reported the average fast food worker is 28 years old. 70% are 20 years or older. And 1/3 of fast food workers are over the age of 40 years old. 2/3 of fast food workers are single working mothers. Why should people who work hard every day in the richest nation on earth wake up and still live in poverty? Why? Now, I'll tell you, some people might say, and people do ask, they come up, they say, Terrence, why don't you get a better job? You got a good head on your shoulders. Get a better job, Terrence. Well, I'm here to tell you there simply aren't any other jobs. Low-wage jobs like fast food and retail are the fastest growing in America's economy today. There are 64 million Americans who make less than $15 an hour. It's why fast food workers like me and my coworkers across Kansas City have been organizing to win a union, have been organizing to win $15 an hour. That's the only way to make these bad jobs good jobs, organizing. And I just want to let the cat out the bag. That organizing is the way to make our planet a better planet as well, y'all. Don't forget that. Low-wage workers in Kansas City and across the country have been organizing for 4 years now. We've gone on strike 10 times. We've fasted in front of City Hall. We've marched and rallied and shared our stories and spoke out about winning a living wage and a voice on the job. We've been in this fight, and our allies have been right beside us the whole way. And the labor, faith, and civil rights communities have been on the strike lines with us, and the monsoons like you see today, they've been out there with us in the 100-degree heat and sometimes in the snow, standing with us. Our allies in environmental justice community have stood with us as well. The president of the Sierra Club, he stood with fast food workers when we first went on strike because he knows when we are united, we have the strength to win justice for all. While workers like me live in poverty, these billion-dollar companies make record profit, but it's not just the workers that are suffering under these corporate business models. Companies like McDonald's and Walmart treat our environment no better than they treat their employees. They don't. They don't. These same corporations that are leading the global race to the bottom are also engaging in unsustainable practices that harm our planet and waste vital natural resources. McDonald's, for instance, the second largest employer on the planet. They hurt our climate by clear-cutting the rainforest. They do this to keep up with their packaging needs and to grow the palm oil they use to make their famous McDonald's French fries. They're clear-cutting our rainforest. On one hand, these companies that are fighting to efforts to decrease emissions and regulate industries, and on the other hand, they're attacking unions and workers across the country. In a quest for profits, above all else, the workers and the environment loses. But it's time we start winning, y'all. It is. It's time. We must unite and fight together as we are today. Because as Dr. King once said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I don't care if you're talking about climate justice, economic justice, racial equality. A threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It is. Yeah, it is. Yep. 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 And I can tell you that line stood out to me because my 3 girls were like, Daddy, where are you going this morning? A climate march? We marched for 15 in a union. I was like, no, baby, we march for justice. Whether it's climate justice, whether it's racial justice, whether it's economic justice, that's why we march, baby. And that's why Daddy's going. Because we must continue to fight together, y'all. We must continue to march and rally together to ensure that our planet and our community is working for everyone, for real. And we invite you all to come out with us. I can see the flyer in your hand, the yellow one you had. There it is. It's a useful tool. I invite you all to come out with us on Monday, May 1st for our May Day rally in March. It'll be at 5 p.m. at 12th and Wyandotte to fight for an economy that works for us all. Because when we organize and build our strength in numbers, y'all, we have the power to win climate justice. We have the power to win racial and economic equality as well. But we have to build our strength in numbers. We really do. We have a long fight ahead of us. I won't sugarcoat it. It's a long fight. We have a long fight ahead of us. I know it won't be easy, especially with this administration, for real. And its attacks on working people and science and climate justice, and its attacks on democratic ideals. It will be a long fight, but it's a fight we need to win. It's a fight for our future, our country, and our planet. We are stronger together. United we stand, y'all. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Keep the hope alive. Keep fighting.